Hey, this is Marty Bahama with the Buzz Formula Podcast, our 24th Buzz. And we are interviewing Danette. And Danette, tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Well, I'm an agent in Denver, Colorado, and surrounding areas, and I came across the buzz, and I was really curious about it. And Marty's been amazing in his team, and kind of answered all my questions right away, and always available. So I was like, I got to try this. I'm
And
excited.
I think you said a minute ago you've been a real estate agent now for about 3 years. Is that correct?
3 years.
3 years. And with the Buzz so far, I know you've only been a Buzz team member pretty recent. How do you feel about it so far, as the interactions and the relationships that you can see that we're creating and you can create?
So it is in a really good way overwhelming, meaning like I didn't really know what I was doing, and it's funny because you can either just jump in and follow your lead that you've given us and just see what happens, which is what I did on my very first poll. And it blew up, meaning I got so many responses on these polls. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I had never really used Messenger too much.
Mhm.
And that just creates this forever line of comments and conversation that you can go back to, which is amazing. So I had to like literally close out my day with anything else I was planning to do, because when people respond, like for me, I was like, okay, oh my gosh, I'm getting all these responses and I'm reaching out through chat. They're still responding, they're asking, like it puts you in front of so many people that now that when you do it, when I know I'm going to do the buzz, I clear my afternoon. Like I do it on an afternoon, because you may not get any responses from one group, but the another group will be on fire, and you're like, oh my gosh. And then excuse me, just going through and thinking, okay, how do I help this person? They're in a credit category, they're in a 620 and over score credit, and they've got 6 years of work history, and they're really good. So I'm like, okay, I need to pull a lender in, and like all these things, and you're just going boom boom boom, and then another one pops up and you're like, ah. So tracking, it's a good like overwhelm.
Good problem to have. Now, so you find it pretty awesome to be able to be in Messenger and have somebody interested, click on their name and be able to create that group with that lender immediately. It's pretty
Yes,
amazing, ain't it?
it is amazing. And then you always wonder, am I doing enough? Like, okay, I've got this going, and then you got to go back and you can't forget what you're doing, like tracking it and writing it down and just being on top of it. Um, and there are, because I think about, you hear all the old things like door knocking and calling people a million times that don't want to talk to you. And, I would walk away from days of that trying to prospect so defeated, because I wouldn't
Yeah.
have any, I called 50 people and nobody, I got hung up on 3 times and nobody, and it's like
I
here,
do not
people
miss
are,
those days.
oh my gosh. And here it's like this amazing, everyone's coming to you and you're like, this is great. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I remember when I was, of course, I was a realtor in the mid '90s, and I wasn't that good of a realtor. But then when I become a loan originator, and it was around 2004, it seemed like it was more for me. I could talk numbers pretty good, talk to people, but we were always calling leads. And you're right. There were days that I'd call 100 people, maybe 200 people, and not get any applications. And now we started off getting 3 or 4 applications daily. And then I met my wife, and she took it to where she started bringing in 8 to 10 applications for me every single day. Now, as a loan originator, I got overwhelmed, and I thought I could handle as many applications as come in the door. But you find out real quick that there's a lot of times that you're having to schedule these times to call everybody. And those telephone calls sometimes will take 30 minutes or an hour. But at least for you and for the lender, now we can find out the real serious people. And a
Mhm.
lot of these people in the Facebook groups, we've found all kind of great credit. You'll find lower credit, you'll find great credit, and you'll find some that's ready right now, and you'll find some that might be ready 6 months or a year from now. But the great thing is you develop that direct link. Oh, this is Honey Buzz, by the way. She has been a my
Aw.
Buzz superstar, because every time I get on one of these, she wants to jump up here and see what's going on.
She's like, me, me.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
cute.
And I've introduced her to the outside world, and Lord have mercy, good God Almighty, now she's aggravating me to death, wanting to go out every like 5 minutes.
Oh
It's
gosh.
crazy,
Yeah.
but yeah, just having that direct connection with somebody. Then what you'll see too, since you're still kind of newer with the Buzz, is a year from now, 2 years from now, people will start popping back out of nowhere. Say, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to go now, you know? And it's just like, man, it's just like, it's almost like a residual income for us, you know, here they come back. And then we talked about, you know, you talked about the seller's poll and how to use it for the referrals, you know? And so we got Joseph Benjamin and a few other people, Niels and Ryan, that are using the polls and other people's groups all everywhere just for the referrals. And that's a great thing about being a real estate agent is you can, unlike my side on the loan side, we can't work that referral system. But you as an agent, Lord, you can make a great living just by sitting back, having these endless people coming in wanting to sell their house, and then connecting them to other agents, and those other agents will appreciate you for it.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I
that's a
actually, I actually had to do that. So one of the Colorado groups, which is where I'm licensed, responded. We were chatting, and then I come to find out she doesn't live in Colorado. She lives in Wyoming, and so she wants to buy a house there. So I did. I made a direct connection to a Wyoming agent. You know, did a referral agreement, and she took her, and you know, took her, and
and,
so now I'm like, great.
and you
Works.
spark me to put in, you know, to kind of top that out, you know, like what you should say and how to get those conversations started. And I've got all that typed out and saved. I just haven't added it to the classrooms yet. So that'll be my next edition. So be looking for that. I will definitely, that was 100% really, it's kind of weird that, you know, I've been doing this long and I've kind of talked about referrals sometimes, but we never really took it to that level where, okay, now I'm telling real estate agents to get out there and join groups, no matter where they're at, start dropping these sellers polls out there, and then finding out, you know, if they're ready to go, if they're ready to sell, and then immediately link them to another real estate agent. That's a smooth, nice little operation that takes this much work. You know, this is
Right.
really what we're doing. We're just moving our thumbs around, you know,
Right.
and like I'm telling my loan officers, get out there, comment on houses. Of course, I tell real estate agents the same thing, insurance agents, comment on houses for sale, because that is where you'll find some of your greatest clients. Some of your
Mm-hmm.
best qualified clients that already commented on some house they like, 2, 3, 400,000 out there. Oh, I love this house. You know, and you'll see a bunch of them. Well, tell me about the bedrooms. Tell me about the bathrooms, you know, and then you go in there and drop your comment and say, hey, feel free to share your house into my homes for sale group, and I'll see if I can help you get it sold. And the next thing you know, and I've had a lot of real estate agents tell me that they either convert that person over from a for sale by owner to letting them list a house, or worst case scenario, I've had a lot of them tell me that the seller end up selling their house themselves, but they use that realtor to buy the next house only
Gotcha.
because that realtor let them post it in their group, you know. So
Yeah.
that's I'm telling you, the Facebook groups are crazy how fast they can grow,
Mm-hmm.
and how many clients you just have kind of pouring into you where you don't have to go out there and chase anymore.
Exactly. And I think a lot of it, like you've already done most of the brainstorming, but sometimes I'll be like, where can I go next? You know, what other group or, you know, and it just, and when your mind starts getting it, you're like, oh, okay, I
Well,
got
that's
this
just
now.
like Gloria, I think it was, and Beret had kind of um, led me to creating that new agent support group I was telling you about. You know, it's just a messenger group, but it's great for brand new agents that get into the business and feel like they're lost, don't know how to write contracts up. Maybe their mentor is with one of those MLM realtor companies that are more concerned about getting a bunch of people into the business and not
Right.
as concerned about teaching this person how to have a long lasting career, you know, which is
Mm-hmm.
what it's about. I mean, I've got one of my guys, Neil, which I just did a podcast with him. He literally made over 40 grand last month. I mean, he made way more than I did. You know, and that's a great thing about this business too. Whether you're a real estate agent, whether you're a loan originator, you can make more than the people above you for your effort. You know, your effort's going to show what your paycheck's going to show your effort always.
Right, right. Yep.
But yeah, hey, I appreciate you getting on here, and if you have anything else that you'd like to say or add, would you recommend people to join up to be the Buzz Team member?
Absolutely. No doubt.
I
No
appreciate
doubt.
that. I
And you'll
appreciate
learn
that.
things, keep an open mind, listen, go through the training, you know, that fabulous book you wrote. I mean, everything's at your
Well, thank you.
fingertips. Just learn it, learn it, learn it. And don't be afraid to try it,
And
even if you don't know
how
what
do
you're
you feel about
doing.
the Google Classrooms? You feel like they're okay? You feel like that you can toggle through them pretty good?
I do. I'm one of those people that kind of has to learn it all, at least go through it one time to kind of get a grasp on the gist. And it is very loaded in there. And that's one day I had reached out to you because I went in too deep, I think, and I was just like da 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 all the way down. So I think that if you go in there, just do a few, do like 3 or 4 lessons, and then go out and try it, put it to use, and
Right.
then see what happens. And that way you're learning, but you're doing too. And then you'll learn from the doing, and then you won't be so scared, I guess, with all that download of information to
Right.
what do I do next? You know what I mean? I think it was
Oh yeah.
overload.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I do like how it's all pieced out in classrooms. You have it exactly what's next, exactly what to say, exactly what to do, and that is so helpful.
And I started off doing that for our loan originators, for our guys. I'm like, okay, guys, this is what you guys are doing. You're only getting 30 applications a month. This is what Kamikaze Christie's doing. She's getting 200 applications a month. Do what she's doing. Now,
Yeah.
what about the texture placement? Do you like that pretty good?
I do. It's funny. When I'm using my cell phone, I do like that. I've been doing a ton of this just off the computer. And I know there's a place in there that you said it works really good with just your phone.
Hmm.
Um, but for whatever reason, if I have my computer, maybe I'm old school, I just feel more comfortable, but I'm able to copy and paste with my phone, with my, keyboard here on the computer, which is sort of like text replacement.
But you got to be
But when
careful
I'm out
though.
and about,
When you copy and paste too many times, you'll land yourself in Facebook jail or Facebook timeout. So just be
see,
careful about that part of it. But I will say too, I do understand what you're saying. They've got this new look on the desktop, this new format for Facebook or whatever, and it's not that bad. I mean, it's pretty good. But I still always say with my phone, I can be 1,000 times faster joining groups,
yeah.
posting in groups, creating polls. Once you get used to that text replacement, it's really just, and Facebook doesn't pick up on the texture placement like they pick up on the copying and pasting. So just be
See, I
careful
didn't
about
know
that part.
that. Another
Yep.
good tip that I needed to know about. So that's good to
Oh,
know.
I've been in a Facebook jail plenty of times, but it's when I say Facebook jail, it sounds so much really worse than what it is. It just sometimes they'll limit how much you can post or when you can post in other people's groups if they think you're spamming the group. And that's why I tell everybody too to stay away from the marketplace. Always start discussions because the marketplace, especially people in our world where we're not actually selling a product, we're selling a service, then
Mhm.
the marketplace is not for us because we'll get booed out of there pretty quick. But hey, I'll let you go and enjoy your day. I know you're busy. Thank you again
Thank
for
you so
this
much. I
awesomeness.
appreciate you. Have a good
Uh,
day.
you too. Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye bye.